Welcome back, CA football fans. Bobby Broyles here along with Rob Washburn as we continue our 12 teams in 12-day series. And today we get to take a look at Rhode Island. Rob, this Rams team took another big step last year under Coach Fleming, finishing 6-5, recording the program's first winning season since 2001.
Yeah, with all the recognition the CA received for getting 6 teams in the FCS playoffs in 2018, the performance of Rhode Island really didn't get the attention it deserved. As you said, the Rams recorded their first winning season in 17 years, posted their best record in CA play since 2010, and were ranked as high as 15th in the national polls. Had Maine not converted a game-winning field goal against the Rams as time expired, Rhode Island would have been a strong contender to make the FCS playoffs. The Rams have made steady progress each season under Coach Jim Fleming, and it will be interesting to see if they can take another step in 2019.
Rhode Island had one of the highest scoring offenses in the CA last season, and 6 starters are back. Can they keep it rolling this year?
Yeah, the Rams averaged better than 30 points per game last season and scored at least 21 points in 10 of their 11 contests. Many of the key contributors from that unit are back, including 2 of the CA's best receivers in Aaron Parker and Isaiah Coulter. Parker, who's on the preseason watch list for the Peyton Award, caught 61 passes for a league-high 955 yards and 10 touchdowns, while Coulter made 42 grabs for 604 yards. The Rams also have their top 2 rushers back with Zoe Bryant and Naeem Jones, who combined for nearly 900 yards and 7 scores. Now, Rhodey will definitely miss the many talents of all-conference quarterback Juwan Lawson, but junior Vito Priori made 4 starts in 2018 and passed for 781 yards and 7 touchdowns. Only 2 starters are back up front, but one of those is senior tackle Kyle Murphy, who has been selected to nearly every preseason All-America squad.
We talked to Coach Fleming to see which of his guys on offense are poised for a big season.
Yeah, I think everybody's poised for big years. I mean, you've got guys out there that you look at and then say, boy, there's a guy that we could make some hay with. Aaron, you start off with Aaron. You go to Isaiah, his cousin, junior wide receiver, number 81 last year. I mean, he's a dynamic player. Amir Dorsey is a guy that, was from Delaware, got on up our way through junior college. He was really, I thought, one of the best specialists in the country last year, and that was evidenced by his production, but we have an increased significant role for him on the offensive side. You just go down the line. Our offensive line is solid. We've got 2 good young tight ends that have got tremendous ability, got things to improve on, and we've got a handful of backs that we feel, really good about. And I could go on and on about each and every one of these guys, but collectively, they're there, and then the quarterback position becomes the focus of all the questions and where you're going with that. We've got a guy that got 4 games under his belt, Vito Priori last year. He, established himself in the spring as the number 1 guy. But we'll have 4 guys that are going out and battling early in camp to be able to establish the 2 deep, particularly. And that's Vito, Jakari Grant, who's been around and waiting for his opportunity, a state champion out of Connecticut that, has just not had an opportunity to play very much. Darius Parenti's out of California, and then we're bringing in a grad transfer player student, from the University of Texas San Antonio, a kid named Alan Edward, and we'll see where that goes.
Defensively, this team brings back 7 starters from a unit that was one of the best in the conference in forcing turnovers in 2018.
Yeah, the Rams were very solid defensively last season, and as you mentioned, were able to force an impressive 25 turnovers in 11 games. Rhode Island has experience at every position, with the strength of that unit being the defensive line. Senior tackle Brandon Giannetti is a 3-year starter who has earned All-CAA honors and wreaks havoc up the middle, while James Maxine started as a true freshman last year. On the ends are seniors Tej Wilson and Keith Wells and junior Andre Bebalt. There are a couple of holes to fill at linebacker, but leading tackler Brandon Javier Castillo is back after making 78 stops a year ago. Now, topping the deep group in the secondary are senior cornerback Rashad Dickinson and senior safety Mamadou Mbai.
Here is Coach Fleming on the potential of his defense in 2019.
I'm really excited to see what we can do on the defensive side of the ball this year. I really am. I watched the highlights of the all-conference, preseason all-conference performers, and as I watch them perform, I'm thinking about my guys and how they stack up, and we do stack up. Our defensive line is deep and talented. Our linebacker core is young but talented, and our secondary is we got a lot of snaps under its belt. So I'm I'm really looking forward to, seeing that component develop to a championship level, because no matter how you cut it, no matter what happens on the offensive side, at the end of the day, defense wins championships, and that's where we've got to be able to get out of our guys, and that's going to be, a challenge to them. But they're certainly capable to be able to rise up and take that challenge. And if we put those things together, it could be very, interesting year to watch.
This Rhode Island program continued to make strides in 2018 and will look to push a postseason berth as we head into 2019. Rob, what are the 3 things you're going to watch out for from the Rams?
Yeah, number 1, big play potential. We talked earlier about the quality of the Rams wide receivers Aaron Parker and Isaiah Coulter, who both averaged better than 14 yards per catch and combined for 13 TD receptions. But Rhodey also had a big play weapon on special teams in senior Amir Dorsey. He returned 2 kickoffs and 1 punt for touchdowns a year ago, and Rhodey has plans to work him more into the offense as both a runner and receiver. Number 2, continue the defensive improvement. Rhode Island made big strides defensively last season, but needs to continue that progress if they want to make a playoff run. They have an experienced group returning, especially up front, and their ability to continue to force turnovers while improving their numbers against the run will be key. And number 3, Saturday Night Lights. There have been significant upgrades to Meade Stadium in the offseason, including a new field turf playing surface and the installation of lights. The Rams will play their first 2 conference games against Delaware and Stony Brook at night, which should create an outstanding atmosphere.
The Rams open their 2019 season on the road at FBS opponent Ohio on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock on ESPN+.
Yeah, also check out cafootball.com and our social media pages as we go one-on-one with Rhode Island offensive lineman Kyle Murphy.
Rob and I continue our tour around the league as we preview the Richmond Spiders on Friday. We'll see you tomorrow.